AITA for streaming on of Kick, Twitch while my son is being teased at school? I am not OOP. OOP is U per nanosecond 11 throwaway. Originally posted to our AITAH. AITA for streaming on of Kick, Twitch while my son is being teased at school? Trigger warnings. Bullying. Sex work shaming. Less than. And NBSP. Original post. January 26, 2024. I'm a single mom and have been using platforms like OnlyFans, Kick, and Twitch for income. This work has become a major financial support for us, netting way more than I've ever earned in a job, which is crucial for our living expenses and my son's education. However, it's led to an unexpected and troubling issue. My son, who's 14, recently opened up about being teased by his classmates because of my online activities. He shared a painful incident from last week where he was ridiculed during lunch, leaving him feeling humiliated and alone. As a single parent struggling financially, I saw it as a way to provide stability and a comfortable life for us. But now, I'm deeply concerned about its impact on my son's social life and mental health. I should note that I do not stream nude. It's slightly risque, but I do not create NSFW content. Despite this, I still earn around 8x what I used to make at my last job. It seems that images of me have made it into my son's social circle woman facepalming. I'm torn between the need to maintain our financial security and the negative effects my career is having on my son. I strive to be a good mother and provider, but I'm questioning if I'm failing him in other ways. AITA for continuing this work despite the emotional cost it's having on my son? AITAH has no consensus bot. Based on the comments, OOP had mixed reactions. Top comments. Mofodat no bro, what exactly do you mean by slightly risque? I'll add I went to high school with a kid whose parents were swingers. They went on MTV. I know I'm old. On a show about it. After the show aired, I watched the kid's life turn into a living hell as the immature douchebags at school ridiculed him. He got into drugs and became a heroin addict. He's dead now. Overdose. Can't say it definitely wouldn't have happened if that episode didn't trigger massive bullying. But it didn't help. For sure. Henning knows YTA for saying this was unexpected. I'm not going to you are wrong for doing it. It's honest work. However, you had to know this would happen. Student loan slave 1 is never going to hear the end of it. Doesn't matter if you stop. Once they found out about it, his fate was sealed. Relevant comments. Lit 3 LLI0N. You need to ask yourself, do you want to have a relationship with your son once he turns 18? Oop, of course I do. We get on really well. I just don't know how to give up the income ATP and NBSP. Update. January 29, 2024. Hello again, Reddit. It's been a few days since I last posted about my situation where I was torn between continuing my work on of Kick and Twitch, and the impact it had on my son being teased at school. I wanted to give you an update and thank everyone for their thoughts and advice. Firstly, I took your feedback seriously and had a heart-to-heart conversation with my son. We discussed the situation, and he expressed his feelings more openly. Understanding his perspective was crucial for me. Based on that, I made some significant changes. I decided to rebrand and shift my online presence. I'm still on Kick and Twitch, focusing more on gaming and less risque content. I've also started a Patreon where I offer digital art and personal blogging, moving away from the content that was causing issues. I have also disabled my AV account, and will slowly be refunding my patrons. For my son, we looked into counseling to help him deal with the bullying and its impacts. I've also decided to be more involved in his school, advocating for better anti-bullying measures and supporting him in finding a social circle where he feels accepted and valued. We are also considering moving schools and/or homeschooling over the next few months. Time will tell what we decide. Finally, I've been exploring additional income streams that align more with my skills and passions, which has been both challenging and rewarding. I also sat down with a financial planner over the weekend and have modeled how I can save and invest to eventually make money from my money. I know the damage done cannot be fully undone, but we're in a much healthier place now, both emotionally and financially. My son sounds like he is doing better, and I feel like I'm making choices that are right for both of us. Again, thank you for the support and advice. It's been a tough journey, but I'm hopeful for the future. An NBSP. This is a repost sub IAM not OOP. Editor's note. Please remember the no brigading rule. Do not harass OOPs. Do not comment on the posts linked in Boris. This is a very serious problem on the BoRU sub. Doing so will result into a permanent ban from this sub and the other link sub. Again, please do not harass OOPs. I remember commenting on the update post when it first got put up. Literally everyone there was calling it a terrible advertisement for Kick. Is there streaming on of? More posts like these are going to show up in the coming years and the stories will get worse. If you have kids and are doing of, be smart. Don't show your face. Cover any easily identifiable features on your body and use green screen or something so the background of video or content can't be easily identified as well. Don't want to be a downer, but the op claims to have made all these enormous changes and it's going great and it's been a long journey. But the space between the posts is 3 days. I think she's engaging in some very wishful thinking. Kids are cruel. I think she wants to believe it will get better quickly for her son, but the sad truth is it probably won't. Only thing that'll work is the slow passage of time or him graduating, moving schools. This was always going to happen. Sadly. There was a writer I knew on Quora who opened up about a similar situation. Kids at her daughter's school found a porn film she made when she was in her early 20s. Showed it to her daughter and then made fun of her relentlessly. The daughter had no idea her mom had done that and came home sobbing and mad. Apparently her daughter felt so betrayed it caused a serious rift in their relationship and ruin her experience at school. The only solution she had was to move her to a private school for a fresh start where she did a lot better and was happier. Though not many lessons were learned because she then shared that she was paying for the new school by doing porn again. Another writer was upset because a young girl she knew had troubled home life. She wanted to move away from her abusive mother and move in with this woman who offered to take her. The problem was, she was a semi-famous, porn star. I guess CPS pretty much told her there was zero chance they were going to allow her to adopt a teenage girl. She was really upset that they denied her, but it was hard of me not to ask if she seriously believed CPS would ever risk placing an at-risk teenage girl with an unmarried porn star. The potential for exploitation or simply exposure to other exploitative people, producers, is too high. It's a huge injustice that so many single women can't afford the basic necessities they need to raise their kids, and we need to change that. Alternatively, I'm kind of alarmed at how many young women go into sex work seemingly oblivious to the potential stigma and ramifications that it can bring with it. In 3 days she's completely pivoted her career? Thinking face. However, it's led to an unexpected and troubling issue. It's only unexpected if you're a complete moron. Anyone else would tell you it's probably an inevitability for anyone actually making good money off of that. And more people need to seriously think that through. They're teenaged boys. It is almost guaranteed that at some point your stuff will be found and shared with your son. And people will ridicule him for it. This is the type of BORU I was expecting to reading in 10 years. But it came sooner. Even though OP didn't do porn or NSFW stuff. Still a kids with a parent who has of situation. In the future this is gonna be more often than we think. I feel terrible for her and her son. The situation sucks and no one is in the wrong except for the shithead kids at school. She should be allowed to make money for her family, but it's also brutal for her son. I hope he can maybe get into a new school or something. Kids can be so awful. I find it sad how many people will criticize schools for not doing enough about bullying. But in cases like this lay the blame solely at the feet of the sex worker. It's pretty nice to see one of these where the parent actually talks to the kid to get their opinion. Glad she's taking this seriously. There's something about OP's post that seems suspicious to me given the timeline of the posts. Face with raised eyebrow. I would like to know how the kids manage to find the content, and you would think that there's a lot of merit into wearing something like a feathered mask for what you do when it comes to the risque stuff as part of your costume. Or lack of, when you have young kids. The thing is that every female on those platforms is a daughter and possibly a mother and or a sister, so connections to others who may not like to be linked to this sort of stuff. I get the income is great, but it's great the OOP has listened to her son. However, the damage has been done. The son will always have this hanging over his head and will get reminders of what his mother does. And there will be whispers even if there isn't any overt bullying, so I would seriously consider moving, and definitely moving schools if the kid is for it. The damage is already done. All she's doing now is hobbling her income stream and further disadvantaging them. They should just move. Have the kids start at a new school and make sure there is nothing that can tie them back to her online presence. I really respect OOP's hustle. She needed more money and figured out multiple ways to make it. Huh, didn't think a BORU about an OnlyFans model would be so wholesome. Good for her. These Boris with reasonable people are disorienting and make me hope that Liz is okay. Why do adults always profoundly underestimate the level of cruelty teenagers are capable of? If they have her pictures, it's hard to convey just how miserable his next 4 years are going to be. There is no way this is remotely over unless he switches schools.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.